Welcome viewers to a brand new episode of Mirror Prime. I'm Ashish Pareek, and our discussion today is about the nation now gearing up for the start of India's cricketing season, a long and grueling home season starting with Bangladesh tomorrow. But the focus now has shifted a little bit away from cricket. A sharp question has now emerged from Maharashtra's political corridors. Shiv Sena UBT leader Aditya Thackeray is now taking aim at the centre and also the BCCI, questioning why the Bangladesh cricket team is receiving such a massive red carpet welcome in India while minorities back in Bangladesh face violence. The BJP, of course, is now also facing the ire. If the BJP government is so firm on boycotting Pakistan over terrorism, Aditya Thackeray asks, why is there a silence on Bangladesh? The other big question, of course, is that if cricket can be used to send a strong message to Pakistan, why cannot the same be done to Bangladesh as well? This is, of course, the big question that we're tracking this hour. And also joining us on the broadcast are our guests here. And before I go to the guests here, let's listen in to some of the reactions that are coming in.
At least in this case, where the social media ecosystem of the BJP has propagated this view that Hindus in Bangladesh have faced attacks, I would want to know from the Ministry of External Affairs whether this is true or not. If it is true that Hindus in Bangladesh are facing atrocities, attacks, injustice, then why is the BJP government and the Union cabinet allowing the BCCI to play cricket with Bangladesh?
So there you heard it. Aditya Thackeray, of course, coming in from the backdrop of Shiv Sena, who's always been speaking about having cricketing ties, not having cricketing ties, in fact, with countries that aren't really friendly with India. In fact, joining us right now on the panel, Susiben Shah, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, Chandrasekhar Jha, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena UBT faction, and Joseph Hoover, who's a cricket writer as well. Susiben Ji, I'll start with you here. Aditya Thackeray is asking a very clear question. BJP and its allies talk about Chappan inch. You start protesting on the streets every time there is a series with Pakistan, or even there's a dialogue about a series with Pakistan. But when it comes to Bangladesh now, it was your government that very clearly highlighted the situation of the minorities there. Now you're seeing here giving a red carpet welcome. Why not ban this series as well?
Very good evening to all my panelists and your viewers. Let me begin by saying that Mr. Aditya Thackeray is a political novice. I mean, he's talking off the cuff. I will tell you the reason why. You see, as far as Bangladesh is concerned, there are 95% Muslims and 5% Hindus. Leave it to us. The Modi government has taken strong views, strong cognizance, have written to the UN, have written to the High Commission as to how the Hindu should be protected. Now, coming back to our country, as far as why this is sudden love for Hindus in Bangladesh, they've completely forgotten and sidelined the Hindus of India, and particularly so in Maharashtra. The newfound love for Hindus is only because they realize that in the Lok Sabha elections, the Hindu majority in Maharashtra rejected them. The entire vote of Hindu, the Marathi Manus, went to Shiv Sena, led by Honorable Minister, Chief Minister Eknath Raoji Shinde. And that is why the newfound love for Hindus. Let me remind you, he only won, UBT only won because the vote of a particular community, which is well established in all surveys and all the analysis of the Lok Sabha election. Secondly, it was during their tenure that there was a Sadhu Kand in Palghar, if you remember. Was a single FIR lodged against the people who perpetrated this killing of the sadhus? Zero. Nothing. I must also remind my viewers, it was during their tenure that a mazar of Tiger Menon was made in the city of Mumbai. Did they do anything about it? Was there any protest? Zilch. Zero. Nothing. So I must tell them why the sudden newfound love for Hindus. They have completely negated the Hindus of Maharashtra and India at large. You look at Uddhav Thackeray's starting statement during his bhashan. He no more says, मेरे प्यारे हिंदू भाई और बहनों या मेरे प्यारे हिंदू भाई और भगिनिनों. What is he resorted to my nation, to my secular voters or what have you? I don't even remember. But Hindu word is certainly missing. As far as the cricketing is concerned.
All right. Let me take this point across to Chandrasekhar Jha, who is also, of course, here to respond. He's from the Shiv Sena UBT. Mr. Chandrasekhar Jha, one of the allegations here, you just heard Susi Ben there talk about how Aditya Thackeray is a political novice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And the other allegation that's coming in against Aditya Thackeray is that all this is now being picked up by Aditya Thackeray to resort to the same sort of politics that Bala Saheb did back in the day, talking about cricket, talking against cricket when it comes to nations that aren't really friendly with us. So help me understand what exactly is the meaning of this stance from Aditya Thackeray, and also is there a meaning to the timing of it?
The timing is perfectly okay. If you see today what is happening in Bangladesh, the minorities are being persecuted, and it is the BJP who is doing this all the propaganda in the India that the attack on the Hindus in Bangladesh is continuing, and it should be seen that they should not be persecuted as they have been doing so on the media as well as social media, which is being run, and eventually, such kind of atrocities which are being done on the Hindus, no voices are being raised in India against this cricket which is happening between India and Bangladesh. And they have been welcomed, and that too in a situation where the Hindus in Bangladesh are being persecuted. Why there should be no action against Bangladesh? If there is an action against the Pakistan, they have boycotted Pakistan cricket board. Why not Bangladesh cricket board? Why this series is happening under the garb of attack on Hindus in Bangladesh? So this is a pertinent question which has been raised by our leader. And secondly, the Hindutva play card which is being played by
No, but Mr.
BJP every
Chandrasekhar
time.
Jha, you are
No,
comparing
see,
Bangladesh and Pakistan here. I think there is a big difference between the two countries. When it comes to Pakistan, we are dealing with terrorists that actually enter our country and cause attacks. When it comes to Bangladesh, it is an internal matters of there. Yes, we have an issue with some of the things, but it's not comparable with what's happening in Pakistan. The relationship between India and Pakistan is much different compared to what we have with Bangladesh. So you can't equate
no,
the two.
if you see the terrorist activities being done from the Bangladesh also, many terrorists who have fled in this incident which has happened in Bangladesh, and those terrorists belongs to some kind of organizations which are against acting against India. So if you see today, these terrorist activities are being done from Bangladesh also. So we used to cover up these things, but now it is an open forum that all the terrorist activities, including all the persecution of the Hindus and minorities in Bangladesh, which is very clear happening, and it is coming in the media also. So today, if we have such
Okay,
kind
I'll
of
come back to the politics over this. Joseph
relations,
Hoover, who's a cricket writer, joins me. Joseph, you've got nothing to do with politics here. You're only here for the love of the game. As someone who follows cricket, as someone who loves cricket, do you sometimes feel confused? Do you sometimes ask yourself how exactly does banning cricket or stopping cricket solve issues between two nations?
Ask myself, I always ask myself, why is sports being dragged into all this politics? Let politics be played aside. Cricket is a game, so is hockey, so is badminton, so is tennis. Let the games go on. We should not mix politics with sports. It's unfortunate. Yes, as you rightly said, Pakistan, we have an issue. We don't want to go play the Champions League because Champions Trophy, because we are terrorists. I mean, we have terrorist issues. But Bangladesh, when it comes, it's not that big if you look at it. But for somebody to raise that issue just over some social media rants, it's unfortunate. Those days when we were growing up and we were playing cricket and we covered cricket, we didn't have the social media thing going around. We were a peaceful country. We are a peaceful society. We are a peaceful people. Today, unfortunately, what's happening? Everybody's throwing barbs at each other, one university versus the other. And the bargain, everything gets filled up. Today, India were looking forward to play a good match against Bangladesh because it's the beginning of the season, because we are going to go to Australia to play the Border Gavaskar Trophy. That's a big series for us. So this is the preparation. And then we start with this thing, Bangladesh. Why is Bangladesh here? Because of some groups propagating that Hindus are being attacked, minorities are being attacked. It could be true or false, but this is not the occasion to bring it in. Let politics be aside. We always appeal to our leaders. Leave us at peace. Let sports be played the way it should be played. This cannot be dragged on and on and on. We have seen this over a period of time. And how long does the people, I mean, we in our country, we are all suffering because of this climate change. How much is nobody is talking about that? None of the leaders want to talk about the impact of climate change, what's impacting us, how people are dying. Nobody wants to talk about that. They want to pick on India, Pakistan. They want to pick on India, Bangladesh. Let's understand that there are bigger things, more important things to worry about, not these silly cricket matches. I mean, cricket, yes, it's a game. It's loved by people. All that is fine. But there are more important things to worry about. Let's have a debate over saying that let the politicians fight each other and say, okay, let's save our forest. Let's not get the impact of climate change destroy everybody. Already, we all know it's barely five years, 10
Absolutely.
years from now.
Joseph, I
Things
agree
are
with a lot of points that you're saying that, but when you say cricket is just a game, I think I'll have to differ a little bit, especially when it comes to India and Bangladesh and Pakistan, the subcontinent teams here. Cricket does, in fact, cricket is used for political maneuvering. We've seen it in the past as well. Susi Benji, you just heard there different views coming in right now. And one of the allegations coming in right now is that while BJP, while the BJP and its allies try to paint a picture that you are nationalists, you are concerned about India's interests when it comes to Pakistan, suddenly you soften your stance when it comes to other parties. And also Aditya Thackeray in the past as well has alleged that a lot of games, the World Cup final, for example, has been taken away from Mumbai to a select few cities because of political reasons.
Now, I tend to agree with my co-panelist and our dear friend that he indeed is a childlike, his behavior is like childlike. Now, what is the duplicity? Why are they whipping up frenzy? I'll tell you why. Did they ever ask their stand on Veer Savarkar? As to did they ever ask apology from Rahul Gandhi of his statement on Veer Savarkar? Did they ever talk about it? They are all set to name a sports complex in Malad as Tipu Sultan Sports Complex. Did they raise objection to that? Zilch. Zero.
Now, Susi
Nothing.
Benji, we are again drifting away from the
No,
topic
no.
now.
It was not
Now,
at our
we're
instance.
going
It
away
is
from the
at
cricket. Let's
our
stick to
instance.
cricket.
We will, as far as the cricket is concerned, from you are much aware that Sri Milind Narvekar, who's from UBT, is a member of BCCI. I think at the BCA, he's a member. Why did he raise an objection to it? I mean, to just come on social media to whip up frenzy and then call out on Bangladesh and bring out the Hindu-Muslim aspect, it is indeed childish and childlike. And you are 100% right. Bangladesh, till the other day, was the fastest growing economy. Now, what has happened to it? And they were the one of the friendliest neighbor that we had. What happened is very, very sad and unfortunate.
Correct.
But that does not mean that we equate Bangladesh and Pakistan. What are we talking about? Immature. And again, I'll tell you, as far as Hindu
Correct.
Muslim is concerned, I agree with my friend. I agree with me. There are many, many important issues which ails the nation. There should be discussion, like one nation, one election. Let us have a discussion on that. Let us have a discussion on CAA. What is the stand of UBT on CAA? What is their stand on NRC? What is their stand on Section 370? They are silent, but they are talking about this Hindu Muslim over a cricket match. For God's sake, it is cricket. Let the spirit of sportsmanship prevail. But in the same breath, I will tell you this: that in Maharashtra, I don't think there is an India-Bangladesh match happening.
Okay. Mr. Chandrasekhar Jha, again, how do you respond to this? Because allegations have come against Aditya Thackeray in the past as well that he tries to play petty politics over cricket. And especially, I was talking about the World Cup final as well last time around. He was talking about how it was taken away from Mumbai to a particular city because of political reasons. And then Rajiv Shukla, who happens to be from the party which is your ally, he himself come out and said that, well, there's no politics behind this. This is only because of logistical reasons. So do you think Aditya Thackeray now is overplaying this role a bit, that he is now trying to blame everything on the opposition, on the ruling party, in fact, as far as cricket is concerned?
We never do politics for the purpose of country. It is BJP who has been doing politics of religion, uh, kind of doing for politics with regard to casteism and everything. They are Hindutva for the purpose of election. And when the election is completely gone, they don't remember about the Hindutva policy, or they don't know about the Hindutva, what is the realm of Hindutva. And they will
But Mr. Chandrasekhar
cry
Jha,
on
you're also
media
talking about,
that the opposition.
they can also say that Aditya Thackeray is talking about it during election. They can say the same thing to you as well.
No, we don't do politics on the basis of Hindutva because we clearly say ये मुंह में राम और हाथ में काम. That is our Hindutva. So at this moment, the major issues which are against this government, the central government as well as the state government, that they are not providing jobs, they are not doing any infrastructural activities which are in favor of the common people. So these kind of issues which are open up, and they don't do debates on that, and they call the opposition leaders that they are doing politics on the basis of cricket. That is unsound now.
But what is the basis then? Mr. Chandrasekhar Jha, you seem confused to me right now. On one hand, you say that, okay, we don't do politics on the basis of religion. On the second hand, your leader, in fact, the entire statement was based on the fact that a particular community is being attacked in Bangladesh, and therefore we should not have a cricket series with them. You seem to be contradicting your own leader right now.
No. The thing is that very clearly we say that when the Hindus are persecuted in Bangladesh, and these things are on social media as well as before the medias, international medias, before the UN. And if you want to play cricket with Bangladesh, what message we are giving to the minorities, Hindus in Bangladesh? That is very clear aspect which Mr. Aditya Thackeray has established through this message. And it is very clear right now that the BJP does not want to protect the minority in Bangladesh, and that is what he has done, and he has given the message to the public that the
Bangladesh gave
BJP
it to the
is
Modi
categorically
Sarkar.
doing
What about
all
the
the
Hindus in
kind of
India?
politics.
What about V. Savarkar? What about your
Before we wrap, one final point by Susiben Shah before we wrap.
I don't seem to understand what are they talking about? The duplicity, the hypocrisy, the diabolical statement that they are making, the diabolical stand. What about Hindus of Maharashtra and Hindus of India? You've lost confidence, and that is the reason you are whipping up false narrative, whipping up frenzy over 5% population of Bangladesh. You've lost confidence of all the Hindus in India, and you've realized that you've lost your vote share. You've forgotten the ideology of the Hindu Samrat Bal Thackeray, and now you're coming up with this
We have
silly
never
statement.
forgotten about the ideology.
You've
We did not
abandoned.
follow about the
Not only
ideology.
All
We
right.
don't
forgotten,
know the
you've
ideology.
All
abandoned
right,
it.
I'm being told that we don't really have
completely
time
abandoned
for
it.
much more
Forget
on this
the question,
debate right
forgot it.
now. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Susi
Thank you
Benji,
so much.
Chandrasekhar Jaji, also Joseph Hoover, appreciate you taking your time out for this discussion. And of course, it is definitely sad in India, the fact that sports is now being used to divide instead of it being a tool for two countries being united. And of course, we'll be getting you details on that and a lot more, and also all the buzz around the India-Bangladesh series that starts tomorrow. But meanwhile, setting aside their past rivalries, Team India head coach Gautam Gambhir and superstar batter Virat Kohli engaged in a candid conversation to reflect on their cricketing journeys. In fact, in a never-seen-before freewheeling chat for the BCCI, Gambhir even recalled some key moments in Virat Kohli's career, particularly his stellar knock and his form in Australia. In fact, this interaction also delivered a few hilarious moments, as Gautam Gambhir even joked about Kohli being involved in more on-field altercations than him. The interview also ended on a hilarious note, as the Men in Blue head coach also revealed that the next guest on his show would be Rohit Sharma, and he even asked Virat Kohli what should be the first question. Take a look at this interesting discussion between Virat and Gambhir.
Virat Kohli showing his class.
That's a good shot over extra cover.
50 for Gautam Gambhir, and it's a very well-paced innings this under pressure. India lift the World Cup after 28 years. The party begins in Mumbai.
I remember when you had that bumper series in Australia where you scored heaps and heaps of runs, and that got you in that zone. Yeah. And for me, it was exactly the same when I played in Napier. And if I look back, can I bat for another 2.5 days? I don't think so. I could have ever done that again. And I have never been in that zone ever in my life after that. So I can imagine how good that feeling is to be in that zone. And I'm sure you must have experienced it many more times as compared to what I have.
But when you're batting and you have a bit of a chat with the opposition, did you ever feel like this might carry on to you going out of the zone and you potentially getting out, or it put you in a more motivated space?
You've had more alterations than I have.
I
I
have.
think you can answer that question better than I can.
नहीं मैं तो ये ढूंढ रहा हूँ कि मेरी बात से अग्री कर जाए मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि गलत है मैं कोई तो बोले हाँ यही होता है So here we are, we've come a long way and putting an end to all the masala
That's a good one. That's a good start to the conversation.
and all the spice.
I got no choice but to